Jumping into the NBA, Brett, though, it seems like it's who is healthiest as we look at these Western Conference and Eastern Conference finals. Looking at Tuesday, we have game 2 of the Western Conference finals between the Clippers and the Suns. They played game 1 on Sunday, and Devin Booker put on a fantastic performance to help the Suns take game 1.
Yeah, he did, Higgins. He had a 40-point triple-double, so played really well. Paul George played pretty well for the Clippers, though, I thought, Higgins. So this is going to be an interesting series to watch. It's been odd because Kawhi hasn't officially been ruled out with a torn ACL, but we've seen multiple reports out there speculating that he may have a torn ACL. So I'm not sure if the Clippers get him back, but the Suns, we do expect to get Chris Paul back at some point, which obviously that would then be a huge advantage for Phoenix. But if in game 2 both superstars are out, I could see this being a tight game.
Yeah, it's been interesting how the injuries have affected a lot of these series. Chris Paul out for game 1, Devin Booker puts on a phenomenal performance. Kawhi being out basically since game 5 of the last series. And Playoff Paul, Playoff P, who we've been hearing a little bit of the murmurs of a new nickname with. He's been really doing a lot for the Clippers as well. I see Paul George kind of saying to Devin Booker, okay, I see your 40-point triple-double. I'm going to go off in game 2. And I like the Clippers to keep it close. Plus 6.5 is where we're seeing this line on Sunday night. I really like this opening line at this number because it was a 6-point game in game 1 that the Suns won. So I don't expect this to be a very large series that is going to be blowout heavy either side. I think it's going to be rather close coming down the stretch in each of these games. Plus 6.5 is too big for me by Tuesday when this tips off. I expect that's going to get shorter. So I think this is some great value on the spread right now.
Yeah, I would also guess it'll probably move that way. I guess the only way I could see it moving the other way, right, would
Is if
be,
Chris Paul.
yeah, as if Chris Paul is officially ruled out, right, and then a ton of money for whatever reason comes in on the Clippers. But generally speaking, Higgins, I read it similarly to you. I think it's going to be a close game. Devin Booker played out of this world. Like, the odds of doing that again are slim, and they only won by 6.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting. This over under at 224 may be a little high as well with the injuries that we've seen and some of the tough defensive stretches we've seen in the playoffs as well, Brett. Speaking of some Eastern Conference finals, though, we do have some news because the game has officially wrapped up, Brett. Trae Young. I said some words about a month ago when the playoffs first started that he needed to prove it to me that he could do anything in a postseason because of me not seeing anything he had done in a postseason before. And he has performed well beyond many people's expectations, has iced Trae, as they say, and it is going to be the Bucks versus the Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Trae Young and Giannis. Interesting matchup.
Yeah, oh man, the NBA is just having a nightmare right now. They got Atlanta versus Milwaukee. Not exactly New York and Miami or Philadelphia, Boston.
You got a Los Angeles in the West.
You got a Los Angeles and a Phoenix. So you're not in a terrible spot, but I mean, both of Charles Barkley's favorite cities are still in the hunt. Actually, all of Charles Barkley's cities: Atlanta for TNT, Phoenix for the Suns, Philly where he started his career. It's like the Charles Barkley playoff, circuit.
So, Brett, it's interesting. Before Game 7 wrapped up here and the Hawks won, the Bucks were plus 130 outright to win the NBA championship. Now that they have to face the Hawks instead of the Sixers, they are minus 110 favorites to win the NBA Finals, with the Suns behind them at minus or plus 175. the Clippers at plus 625, and the Hawks at plus 1500. Putting money on the Hawks, Brett? I mean, plus 1500 to be one of the last four teams there? What do you say?
I mean, that's absolutely where the value is because the Clippers, I mean, should have lower odds than the Hawks. The Hawks have less of a hole, right? Like the Hawks are relatively speaking pretty healthy. They haven't lost a game in their series yet, so they don't have to win four, while the other team they're playing has to win three. Both teams still need to win four. And I think they have a true superstar in Trey Young. I mean, you have to have one of those to be here. A Giannis, a Trey. I guess in the Clippers' case, they're relying on PG. And, the Suns are going to get Chris Paul back. We'll see how his shoulder is. We'll see how he's doing after um, it's COVID-19 protocols. I don't think he has COVID. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see just how he's doing, after he can come out of quarantine and being away from the court a little bit. But hopefully his, stamina and stuff shouldn't be too badly affected. And, obviously Devin Booker coming off a 40-point triple-double, Higgins. So the superstars are going to make the plays down the stretch. And whichever ones can get it done, I think the Hawks have a true superstar, and plus 1500 seems like crazy odds, but no, I have no interest in betting this. I already lost my 76ers future. I felt like I lost it with the Embiid knee injury. Injuries scare me. I said that with the Embiid injury. I've been fading Phoenix since the Chris Paul shoulder injury. So, I get scared off by the injuries.
Yeah, and we are marking an official one more loss for you for this episode live right now because of that 76ers finals pick you had. That means there's only one futures pick from episode 141 that's still alive. Of all the ones that you and I did for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the NBA finals, it's my Vegas pick plus 850, so we'll see how that goes, Brett.